Right, a few minutes away from race 7 of the night. It's a Mile 3 Handicap Class 6 event. We've had a good look at them in the parade ring, which would include the principal horses in the market. None more so than number 1, Island Nation, who, going back to it, got off the market the 8th time of asking here last week, over a furlong further than this. £4 well in now, under the £6 penalty having been assessed retrospectively, but you wanted to take quite a literal view of how the handicapping post-race went.
Yeah, it was an interesting way, the handicap. I appreciate that doing your blatant math, £10 for 5 lengths was it. The problem is the horse who finished second, Bilach, came from about 15 lengths further than the winner came from, behind where the winner came from, and he was only put up £2. So he might be one of the most well-handicapped horses in the country on the basis of that. And the fact that we've got 2 horses running in here with the winner Island Nation and O'Reilly's Pass, who was 4th, again, from a long, long way back. That horse, this race, realistically, could retrospectively really just pan out well for the second. But I mean, it was a good ride from Martin Dwyer. 3 horses split off early doors, and he just latched himself onto the back of that pack, and it was a bit like the Derby this year. One horse goes, the rest of them just sort of sit back and go, oh, they'll come back to us, and guess what? They didn't come back to them, and horses came out of the pack. I mean, Island Nation, really impressive. First win for the son of the Derby, won a ruler of the world. As you said, well in, but the slight concern was the stewards actually asked Heather Main and co. why there was an improvement in this horse's form last time, and they said it was because he had been freshened. We're now coming on a week turnaround. If he's a horse that runs well fresh, this ain't fresh. So that's the slight worry, wealth warning, but it could just be light bulb, won really well.
But that's the wealth warning you want to be taking on a handicap such as this with a 10 to 11 favourite.
Yeah, I mean, it's a not to 63-year-old handicap, with respect. Nobody should take odds on in races like this. I think it's the most likely winner, but at the prices, if you wanted to have a poke, and if I was sitting at home watching this, I probably wouldn't. O'Reilly's Pass, I really liked him last time. I like that they're putting the first-time cheek pieces on because he hit a bit of a flat spot. He closed from a long, long way out. He was in the wrong group. But
did have a bit to do that day.
Yeah, and he did it well enough. So I'm just hoping the cheek pieces kind of give him a little bit more oomph, and they'll have to because we're down a furlong in trip. But hopefully, because we're down a furlong in trip, they'll run a little bit quicker than they did last time, and hopefully SDS will get him rolling a little bit sooner.
So, talking of a former champion jockey to a current one, Oisin Murphy rides Stittenham Woods. Mick Easterby, as mentioned, the 3rd time the trainer and the jockey have teamed up, is another, a bit like Island Nation, who runs under a penalty. That for the breakthrough win at Newcastle a week or so ago, a few pounds well in, a bit like Island Nation, or perhaps not to the extent of, for that 6.5 length success. And that was also potentially just unlocking the key, because that was when up to beyond a mile for the first time, and now goes to a mile and 3.
Yeah, and the fact that once he sort of hit the incline at Newcastle, he just sort of he scooted away. That suggests that the extra furlong will not be an issue at all today.
Richard Hoyles, that's exactly on the extra surface what Rachel Candelora was talking about, that particular piece of information, Rachel.
Yeah, that is just a bit of a wealth warning with Island Nation, as Richard said. He improved because he was freshened, supposedly. This is a quick turnaround. He also improved because of the way that he was ridden. He was latched onto that first leading group and therefore was in lengths better position than the eventual 2nd and 4th.
I suppose on the flip side, the horse has come out seemingly extremely well. His odds on today, and with the whack that you got, there you go.
Yeah, and also, to be honest, when Martin Dwyer came in, he was breathing harder than the horse. So, you know, there is that. He was quite impressed with him.
Okay, one by one they make their way forward. I think we're just about good to go for race 7, the 7:30.
All in, and they're off. Jump way over a mile and 3 furlongs for this Unibet Extra Place offers every day. Handicap stakes, Greek Oasis, the first to show. So on the inside, Exotic Escape with Racing Keenly, Magic Loot coming forward now to come and take over as they pass us in the stands. So Magic Loot will go clear by about 3 lengths, racing enthusiastically early on to Evening Verse, giving chase in the yellow cap in 2nd. Racing in 3rd, Exotic Escape in 4th. That's Greek Oasis in the terracotta with the black cap. Bad Attitude is 2 lengths further back in the dark blue and yellow. Then the hot favourite, Island Nation, mid-pack at this stage, the very dark blue jacket, racing ahead of Sir I'll Chance It. And then comes to the outside Ivor Question. Further back is O'Reilly's Pass, who's being held up again, the green colours. He's alongside Wand, also in green. That's got a mauve cap. 2 lengths to On the Right Track, who's on the inside towards the back of the field with Stittenham Wood, the Newcastle winner. He's out wider. He's also towards the back, and just towards the rear is Dan King in the yellow and black as they race down the far side. So up front, Magic Loot, not so far ahead now as Evening Verse gets much closer in the pink and yellow colours. Just racing in behind them in third place, Exotic Escape is alongside Greek Oasis to the outside. Next in the field is Bad Attitude. On the inside in his Island Nation. Further back at this stage to find Sir I'll Chance It, and then comes Ivor Question in the red and white. Stittenham Wood is trying to make up some ground very wide around the field. And then towards the inside of that runner is O'Reilly's Pass under Sylvester de Souza. Further back to find On the Right Track. Dan King is still in rear as well as they make the turn. Wand is the other one towards the back of the field. So on the home turn then, swinging back towards the straight, it's still out in front Magic Loot by a length. Evening Verse under pressure. Behind them in third, Exotic Escape. Greek Oasis is out a bit wider. Island Nation's going well in behind. The Stars on the sleeves but needs some racing room. He's just short of room there, Martin Dwyer. But now the gap opens up for him and Island Nation is bursting through to come and join in. On the outside, Ivor Question is there too. And then comes Greek Oasis. But up front, Island Nation has now grabbed the lead. He's bounding clear the favourite. He's gone on by a length and a half. Ivor Question is giving chase in second and hasn't given up yet. Ivor Question down the outside for John Egan to throw out the challenge. Island Nation's going to have to fight for this. Near side, Ivor Question is going home that bit stronger. Ivor Question for the upset. Island Nation in second. Ivor Question just from Island Nation. Third place in the end, very wide On the Right Track. I think has just got third ahead of Bad Attitude, who's home in fourth place.
Well, top of the home straight, Martin Dwyer looking to get out, looking to avoid any problems on Island Nation. He got out. The response was to quicken up the horse under the penalty, but in the end has been undone, it would seem, by the narrowest of margins. Officially a photo finish called involving that horse and Ivor Question with a yawning gap back to the third. Your take on that, Rachel?
I think that's going to be a lot closer than we think, considering that Judge Guy Lewis only tends to call photos when they are desperate. So I would say that's closer than we think, but...
The photo finish for first place, first number 11, Ivor Question.
It is Ivor Question, who has beaten Island Nation and will have done so at a fair old price. Who bid to make it 10th time lucky today, and just on the fourth start for Simon Dowson's joining from Ireland, and a tumbling handicap mark, and ultimately Island Nation, vindication for getting the horse under their penalty because he's pulled an absolute country mile clear of the third, but couldn't account for this blot in the copybook on the day, and quite a good performance ultimately from a horse who hadn't done anything near this in Britain so far.
No, I mean, the only one thing that I have a question had going for him was this is the lowest level handicap that he's ever run in to date. But, I mean, this is a huge resurgence of form. I mean, potentially coming here, he wasn't particularly slow away today, which was one of his bête noirs recently. He was able to go and get a relatively decent